In this video, we are going to be finally getting our rig to behave the way we want. Now to do that, we need to add IK constraints. IK is known as inverse kinematics. Now you don't need to know the specifics of what is meant by inverse kinematics. All you need to know is what it does with regards to your rig. So let's start with the arm. We're going to select the lower arm bone. So make sure to select the lower arm bone and then go into pose mode. With the lower arm bone selected, go to the bone constraint properties and add a bone constraint. The option that we want is inverse kinematics. You will first of all have a target. The target is going to be the armature. The bone in question, your target bone, is going to be your hand control.r. Your pole target is going to be the armature, and then the elbow ik.r. Now this instantly looks weird, but what I want you to do is adjust the chain length here to a value of 2. You should then get this. So, to recap, the initial target is the armature. Then choose the hand control.r. So the target is the point of control. So the armature as the object and then the hand control.r as the bone. You then require a pole target, which is again the armature with the elbow ik.r selected as the bone. If you have done this correctly, what you can then do is you can select your control bone, hit G, and get this kind of behavior where we're beginning to actually bend our arm. Now it's not bending correctly, but this is a very simple fix. Simply select the bone in which we apply the constraint to and change the pole angle. So if we change the pole angle to 90 degrees, for example, select our control bone and attempt to move it, you can see it's now bending in a different direction. It's still the incorrect direction, but since it's going in the opposite direction, we can just change this from 90 to -90. And then if we test again, we can now see that we are getting the behavior that we want for our arm. If we select our elbow ik.r bone and then begin to move this around, what you should see is the bones of the arm being rotated based on the positioning of our pole target. And this is going to make animating the arm very easy down the line. Let's do a similar process with the leg. So we need to select the lower leg, then add a bone constraint and go inverse kinematics. The target is the armature. The control bone is the foot control bone. So locate the correct bone, which in my case is leg control.r. Then select the pole target, which is the armature, and then knee ik.r. Change the chain length to 2, and then adjust the pole angle. Now the pole angle, you can actually see this more visually because the foot bone here is actually pointing in the incorrect location or direction. So adjust this to about 90 degrees. View it from the front. That looks pretty good to me. And then what we can do is we can take this bone here and hit G, and we should get this kind of behavior for our leg. We can also take our pole target to rotate the armature bones for the leg. A couple more things that we can do here. For example, if we wanted to make sure that our hand bone moved and rotated like our control bone, then we can very easily select the hand bone, add a bone constraint and select copy rotation. Then select the target, which is going to be again the armature, and the hand control.rbone. Now, if we were to take our control bone, we can move it same as normal, but now we can also rotate the control bone, which rotates the hand bone. With Inverse Kinematics set up, all that's now left to do is to mirror the bones on the right side of our model over to the left, which we will do in the next video.